Welcome to the Love Sessions. I'm Nori, and my beautiful, amazing, magical, sparkly co-host is Lily. I'm squeezing extra words in there.
You did. You did. I'm trying to count them. Like, how many did she get in there? Darn.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Lil.
Hello, beautiful Nori.
Oh.
I'm just going to use beautiful as just the umbrella for you. Everything. All of that is there.
Okay, so I could see all those words under that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How are you, Lil?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Of course you are. I'm good too. I'm having a good day. This is Love Session number 27.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right.
Wow. We're just moving along with bringing love back to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I love how our topics, they have different feelings, like the one on jealousy or, on family patterns, can be a little bit more intense. Like, I'm not going to say that they're heavy or spin them negatively, because they're not. But some topics are lighter and more optimistic, and some topics are more intense and require some inward looking.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what the love sessions are all about, is it's looking inside and looking at everything and loving it all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Depends on how we look at it, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think we were talking about optimism, or really like those four feelings, like idealism, optimism, realism, pessimism, right? Mm-hmm. Those are, I guess, those four categories. Where do you think you fall?
I think I'm a realistic optimist.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that makes sense, because I think most people fall somewhere in between.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would be like an optimistic with a little realism thrown in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
So realism is, boy, this is interesting, because from a law of attraction perspective, I've been working with law of attraction for so many years now that, I realized that I shifted my perception of reality on purpose. Back in the 80s, I started with Abraham, and back then my reality wasn't so great. So if I considered myself a realist then, I would be expecting a lot of not so great things to happen. So now that I'm looking at it and looking back, I realize that I've shifted what I think reality really is. So, reality still, no matter how you look at it, it still holds the possibility that, anything can happen. Good can happen, not so good can happen. But my optimism makes it so that no matter what happens, it's okay. It's good. It's okay or good.
Yeah. I like that. I like that you mentioned the shift, because when I first started learning about the law of attraction and, learning that there was a term to describe basically how I've lived my life the whole time, I thought, oh, okay, so then I'm an idealist, because, that's what law of attraction kind of seems to teach you to be, which I think a lot of people at first, when they start learning, get that misconception, like you always have to be positive, like everything's got to be positive no matter what, which is kind of an idealist, like everything's great and everything will be great and it's all fine and great. And then I realized not so much. So I'm definitely an optimist with a little bit of realism in there, because I do believe that everything will always turn out fine. In the end, it will always turn out okay. But sometimes on the way to okay, it's going to get a little messy.
That was good. That's so good.
Yeah, which is that kind of realism, like expect a little turbulence.
Right.
It's okay. That's okay. And that's a more comfortable space for me, definitely.
Right.
And it makes me feel more like I'm actually better able to live and use the law of attraction rather than trying to, fight it. Because if you're trying to be positive all the time, you're actually fighting it rather than using it.
And that's the complete misuse of law of attraction, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's when Abraham would say, okay, you can't put a happy face sticker on an empty gas tank. And that's exactly, such a great representation of it right there. And I love what you said, that, you can't always, everything isn't always positive. And a lot of people did get that idea from the movies The Secret and things like that you're always supposed to be positive. But the truth is, if you're always working to improve your feeling, no matter what that feeling is, right, or your vibration, if you will, if you're always working to improve it, then you are accurately applying the law of attraction in your life. And I think that's kind of what we're saying here regarding realism and optimism, that, there's going to be a bump in the road, or you might get a nail in your tire, but how do I feel? Okay, I'm feeling totally exasperated. I got, a nail in my tire. I got to be to work. Blah, blah, blah. And okay, well, what's good about this that I don't see yet? So just stepping into that space in the middle of the turbulence is the use of optimism, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And it's opening the door for the law of attraction, because it's like, okay, this is really messy and ugly right now, but I'm going to believe that no matter whatever I have to do right now, it's all going to work out really okay in the end. And that allows the universe to then say, oh, all right, so it's all going to be okay.
Right.
I'm going to move all of these pieces here, and everything's going to be okay, because that's actually the vibration, the energy, the station that you're tuning into. Not the, oh, everything's perfect right now. Yes, I'm sitting by the side of the road and it's raining and I have a flat tire, but I'm Pollyanna and, oh, this is great. No, this is messy right now.
Yeah.
But it's going to be okay.
Exactly.
Yes. Which is, to me, it just seems more comfortable, more powerful, more full of possibilities. Like, that whole question of the glass half full or half empty?
Yes.
Right? To me, I'm like, wait, I have a glass that I can fill with stuff?
Yeah.
How about gummy bears?
Oh, yeah.
Or tequila, depending on my mood.
That sounds good.
That's me. So it's like, who cares if it's half full or half empty? I have a glass.
I love that. That's such a great example. I mean, it's such a great example of feeling confident about the future, right? Feeling confident about the possibilities of what you can do with that glass. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think optimism is a really comfortable space, and it's healthy. You know what? It's really, we know that emotions really affect our physical being. And to me, I believe that being an optimist is the healthiest place to be. It's very good for your nervous system and to manage stress, because stress is going to show up. It's part of the human experience. You cannot not have stress.
Right.
But if you're in an optimistic frame of mind, you could manage it, and your body won't be as ravaged by it.
Exactly. That's so important. I mean, I can think of multiple experiences, examples of where I was rerouted, I've traveled a lot. So when I was driving, I was rerouted to a road that it was almost like a desolate road, and I'm feeling lost and I'm feeling uncomfortable, and why the heck am I even here? And then to find out that I missed a huge accident. I mean, I had enough of those experiences to put me in the place of trust and to put me in the place of confidence now that when I'm delayed, or when something is going on that reroutes me or delays me, or puts me into a different place that I didn't expect to go, I always trust that there's a better reason for it, that there's a higher good that's going to come of it. And that
Yeah.
feels so much better on my emotions, so much better on my body, because I'm not, white knuckling the steering wheel and my neck is tight and, I'm breathing shallow and, all of the feelings that come as a result of that. It's a relaxing and just, moving with the flow, trusting that the outcome is going to be okay.
Yeah. And trusting. That word is so powerful. There's so much power in trusting. Where it
Mm,
might seem like, someone might think like, oh, you're just being silly if you're just trusting that everything's going to be fine and you're not doing anything about it. That's not what I'm saying. I'll do what I need to do, but I'm trusting that everything will be fine. And that alone can just send a feeling of calm over me. Like, yeah, I know everything's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And it's so powerful
right.
just to trust. Like, if you're a pessimist might just be like, ah, of course, the old,
Right.
I don't hear about it that much anymore, but when I was younger, it was all Murphy's Law. Do you ever hear
Uh,
of Murphy's Law?
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like,
I,
what can go wrong will go wrong, or that
right.
thing. Um, and it's like, yeah, if you live with that thought, then guess what? A lot of stuff is going to go wrong because that's what you're expecting.
Okay, so that's some powerful law of attraction right there.
Yeah,
Everything that can go wrong is going to go wrong. Are you
yeah.
kidding me?
Are you kidding me? Like, no, thank you. And then if you're thinking like, well, realism, a realist would be like, it just is what it is. There's nothing controlling it. It just, there's nothing that's going to change it. It just is what it is, and you just got to deal with it. Well, that feels very powerless to me, and I don't like it.
Mm-mm.
That feels like whether I trust or I don't trust, whether I do or I don't do. Like it doesn't matter what I do or what I feel. It's just going to work itself out the way it will, and it might be good and it might be bad. And ew, I don't like that. No, it just can't be what it is. There's got to be more to it. And then, of course, going on the other way, idealist, everything's always going to be fine. Well,
Mm,
how do I stay in that place when things go
I'm not
wrong?
fine.
Exactly, because they will.
Right.
So you can't stay there. So optimism to me is the most comfortable place because it gives me, it lets me have all the flavors mixed in there.
I like that. I like that. And, when you were talking, I was getting a sense of there's a there's like a baseline within us, a baseline of okayness. Like, and that's different for every person. I'm sure each of us has a different name for it. For me, it's connected. For me, it's balanced. For me, it's connected. With all parts of me, body, mind, spirit, and soul. And when something comes and knocks me off, right, illness, okay, so that knocks me off, something happened there, but there's still an optimism that I'm going to go back to that balanced state. There's still a trust that I'm going to exercise my, what would be the word, I'm going to exercise my optimism even though I'm sick. I'm going to exercise my trust even though I feel lost on this road. I'm going to exercise my belief that everything's going to turn out okay, even though I'm, in a tornado. So there's that underlying, essence or that underlying energy of, oh, solidity within ourselves, I mean, and it could be a solidity with your belief system. It's like there's that part of us that's whole and complete, no matter what's going on around us. And that's not idealistic. I think that's optimistic.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm explaining it. I can see it in my mind, but I can't get the words to wrap around it yet.
No, I think you explained it perfectly. Like, yeah, it's just that feeling like no matter what, it's going to be okay. And even if it doesn't move forward into a better okay than where I was before it started, maybe I can go back to the okay before it started, which is fine too. So it's just whatever it is, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. However bad it is, it's going to be okay.
Right. And you were talking before about the benefits of it to your body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it does. It increases your health. It increases your longevity. It decreases your stress. Um, it helps us, the more we practice it, then the more we realize that it's true, that helps us, it enables us to handle our emotions, especially during the time of I don't know, what would the word be, of surprising experiences,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? So then I think we could also say that it helps us build resilience.
Absolutely.
And it makes us
Absolutely.
happy.
It does. It does. It makes us happy, and it's to me, it's just another expression of loving yourself, of being able to love yourself. I know, and I know, I had said this before, and we had a conversation about it because I will say, prepare for the worst and expect the best,
Mm-hmm.
and that can be puzzling to some people. Like, wait, I thought you were all law of attraction and you're all positive and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you know. Preparing for the worst and expecting the best, that allows me to stay optimistic because I feel like, okay, I did the best that I could in this circumstance, which equals I love myself.
Mm-hmm.
And now I expect the best possible outcome to happen here. Again, equals I love myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I also know that I can handle whatever comes in between all of this because
Right.
guess what? I love myself.
Right, right. So preparing for the worst gives you that confidence that, okay, no matter what it might be, I've got it handled.
Exactly.
And that frees you to be expansive in your optimism. Oh my
Exactly.
God, I love that.
Yeah. And even if something not so great happens, you can still say, well, you know what? I did the best that I could. There was
Mm-hmm.
nothing else that I could do. I did the absolute best that I could do in this circumstance. And so, yeah, I can still remain optimistic in my sense of self and my
Mm.
sense of looking at the world like this, it's okay. It is okay. However, whatever happens, I can deal with it.
Boy, that's so good. And that's so representative of what the love sessions are, because when we have that solid foundation, that solid relationship, that certainty with ourselves, that we know ourselves and we're aware of loving ourselves or taking care of ourselves, that we know that no matter what comes, I'm going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
That's such an incredible feeling.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels calm. It feels healthy. It feels strong. And it can help you, it will help you manage the stress that is going to inevitably come to you through life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's part of, preparing for the worst. I mean, and it's not that we're doing Murphy's Law,
No.
that it's going to happen. It's just more of we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe during the day, we're going to fall off, our good feeling place and go into, I don't know, anger or fear or whatever. And then we create a little bit more of it before we correct it, before we move into that place of, knowing that everything's going to be okay. So that's preparing for the worst. Preparing for the worst is being human.
Exactly. And it's not that complicated. It's almost like if you're setting off on a trip, like if you're going to come visit me,
Mm-hmm.
and before you leave your house, you realize your gas tank is almost empty. Well, you could be a total idealist and be like, oh, there's probably going to be like 100 gas stations between here and there, so let me just go.
Mm-hmm.
No, an
Mm-hmm.
optimist would say, all right, let me fill up before I get on the road, and this way I'm good to go. And guess what? Maybe on the way here, yeah, you're going to pass a bunch of gas stations, and you'll be able to stop and get a snack, or
Top it off, top the tank off.
whatever.
Exactly.
Exactly. And you'll get here, and we'll even have gas so that we can go, driving around and do some things
Yeah.
here. So that's what we're talking about, like preparing for the worst and expecting the best, rather than the other way around, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to head out with this empty tank of gas and just like expect that the universe will take care of it and, either make the gas last somehow, or give me a whole bunch of gas stations along the way. No, because you know what? That's creating a space for stress to plant itself and grow. Because the more you're driving down the road and you're looking at the needle on the E, and now the light starts to flash, and you're like, oh my God, where's the next gas? What's the next gas station? And you're stressed out. So why do that to yourself?
I don't know why we occasionally do that.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that you're not an optimist. It doesn't mean that, you're not feeling good about the trip. It just means like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to prepare for the worst.
And, the word love tank, and filling your love tank up.
Ooh, I like that.
Is so used right now. But we're talking about the self-love tank. And having that full so that you know that no matter what comes, you're going to make the decisions that are going to make everything okay for you.
Absolutely. And what's more loving than that?
Yeah,
right?
I don't know.
What's more, because if everything's good all the time, you're never going to have that experience of being able to have that answer like you just described. Like you just coming up with the answer, like, which is an amazing feeling. So, yeah, it's such an expression of loving yourself.
Oh yeah, that feels good. I totally feel that.
Me too. I love that.
I love that you kept bringing it back to I love myself.
Yeah. Because to me, that's what it's all about. I'm an optimist because I love myself. And I love myself because I'm an optimist.
I love that. And I love myself, so I'm always going to take care of myself. And I'm always going to, it's going back to that word trust. That you can trust the relationship with yourself. Yes. Wow.
Power. And like I said, what's more powerful than that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I love it.
I love it. I love you.
I love you. Yes.
I'll see you next week. This was great. Thank you.
This was good. Bye-bye, honey.
Bye.